Pharmacists are preparing to vote on new APhA leadership. We've got new tools to help you tackle vaccine liability, and the profession unites to recognize the serious issue of suicide in the pharmacist workforce. Plus, we take a first look at the day of NP life and what's new from ACIP. That's just some of what we're talking about on today's RX Report, where you get your health, your news delivered. I'm your host, Mason Manuel, coming to you from the home of pharmacy here at the American Pharmacist Association headquarters in Washington, D.C. We've got a lot to talk about, so be sure to leave a like and subscribe, leave a comment, and join today's conversation, and let's dive in. First up, let's talk democracy in action, pharmacy style. On September 23rd from 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. Eastern, you can join the virtual Meet the Candidates Forum. This is your chance to hear directly from the leaders who want to guide APHA's future before you cast your vote. Look at you being a responsible voter looking at the candidates before you vote. As a TLDR, here's a quick update on who's running. In the left corner, we have for President-elect Stephen Carroll and Brandy Hamilton. In the right corner, for Pharmacy Technician Trustee, we've got Josie Quick and Kristen Snare. You'll be able to hear their vision, ask your questions, and make an informed choice. So, do you want to prepare? Then check out the Meet the 2025 Candidates page on pharmacist.com. Check out the link in the description to learn more. September 20th is tomorrow, and as many in the profession know, it's an important and solemn date known as the Pharmacy Workforce Suicide Awareness Day. Here's why it matters. A recent study in JAPHA found that suicide rates among pharmacists in the U.S. are about 20 per 100,000. That's absolutely horrible, especially when you compare it to how the suicide rate in pharmacy is significantly higher than the 12 per 100,000 in the general population. This sobering statistic underscores the urgent need to support mental health and well-being in our profession. APhA, along with many other pharmacy organizations, are working to raise awareness, reduce stigma, and provide resources for pharmacists, student pharmacists, residents, and technicians. On behalf of APhA, please hear me when I say that if you or someone you know needs help, you can call 988, which is the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, or text HOME to 741-741 for the crisis text line. I'll leave both of those resources in the description for anyone who needs them. I love this platform and the community around it, so I really hope that you'll hear me when I say, let's make this day about more than numbers. Let's make it about taking care of each other. Never forget that no matter how bad things get, there are resources and people who are here to pick you up when you're down, no matter what. Thank you very much for listening, tuning in, and know that we are always thinking of you. We'll get to our next story in a moment, but first we have an exciting new segment to announce. Every Batman needs a Robin, a Mario needs his Luigi, and Shrek needs a donkey. So as the world's handsomest burro, I'm very proud to be introducing our new segment, Pulse on Practice, hosted by our honored Shrek, Mr. Brian Cottingham. Sounds kind of mean. This new segment will give the latest updates on pharmacy practice and policy, so you don't want to miss out. With that in mind, I'm sure you're tired of hearing me just talk about it, so let's get to it. Brian, take us away.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Pulse on Practice. Today we're talking about federal legislation that APhA members, pharmacists, and our patients are very excited about. It's called the Ensuring Community Access to Pharmacist Services Act, or ECAPS for short. It's a big deal to keep preventative healthcare services accessible to our nation's pharmacies for many of our patients who lack access to primary care. So here's the scoop. ECAPS was introduced in the U.S. Congress to make sure pharmacists can continue providing services that they have proved they're great at during the pandemic. Testing and treating common respiratory infectious diseases such as COVID, flu, strep, and RSV. During the pandemic, pharmacists were temporarily allowed to offer these services under emergency rules. ECAPS says, let's make those permanent, at least when it comes to our nation's most vulnerable populations, our seniors on Medicare Part B. That means pharmacists can get reimbursed for providing these clinical services, just as MDs or nurse practitioners. And why does it matter for pharmacists? This is a major step forward. It recognizes pharmacists' clinical training, supports their role in public health, and makes sure they're paid fairly for the care that they provide. And let me be clear, this bill doesn't change or expand pharmacists' scope of practice at the federal level. That authority remains with each individual state. In fact, pharmacists in many states are already providing test and treat services. What ECAPS does is ensure that when pharmacists provide test and treat services, they're able to be fairly reimbursed for those services through Medicare. These bills are currently making their way through the legislative process, but viewers at home can help. Reach out to your federal legislators at pharmacist.com under our Advocacy Action Center and share the good work that pharmacy staff in your district are doing every day. You can also stay up to date on ECAPS and other advocacy efforts by heading over to pharmacist.com/advocacy. That's your go-to hub for everything APHA advocacy. That's it for now. Back to you, Mason.
Thanks, Brian. Shifting gears to our next story. It's time to mark your calendars for October 24th to 25th this year. Why, I hear you ask? Because that's when the APHA new practitioner community hosts Day of NP Life right here at our historic headquarters in Washington, D.C. It's all about LIFE, L-I-F-E, which we made into an acronym since pharmacists are definitely starved for acronyms, he said sarcastically. It stands for leadership, innovation, friendship, and education. At NP Life, you'll connect with new practitioners, residents, fellows, and postgraduates from across the country. You can expect Capitol Hill visits, a welcome reception on Friday, a full day of programming on Saturday, packed with inspiring speakers and career-advancing opportunities, and more. Now, seats are limited, so if you're a new practitioner looking to take your NP Life to the next level, then register today at the link in the description. For our final story, those who live and breathe immunization schedules, don't miss the upcoming ACIP Immunization Update webinar. You may remember last week when I spoke to Dr. Bridget Groves right here at this desk about the current state of the ACIP and FDA regulations, giving some, let's call it, confusing new updates. Well, this webinar is here to shed some light on the former at the very least. It's scheduled for Tuesday, September 30th from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern, and will feature Dr. Jean Venable Kelly-Good, APHA's liaison member to ACIP. She'll break down the highlights from the recent September 18th to 19th ACIP meeting, including changes to the immunization schedules, newly licensed vaccines, and other critical updates that directly impact pharmacy practice. If you need to stay current, and let's be honest, we all do these days, this is one to add to your calendar. So, what are you doing listening to me besides, making great podcast decisions? And I mean that completely seriously. Be sure to register at the link in the description for more information. And that is our show. Are you pumped to choose APHA's next leaders and/or learn more about the latest in vaccine scheduling? Let me know in those comments. Till next time, our executive producer is Rob Hodges. Our creative producer and co-editor is Kate Erdman. And until next time, I've been your host, Mason Manuel. Stay tuned next Friday for more RX Report, where you get your health, your news delivered. Until then, bye y'all.